Hello, everybody. It's Sunday, and Sunday means Shadowverse. But before that, we just have a little chat. Little chat. Yes, Kaden, it is indeed. It is time for more crime because we're still in the crime set of Shadowverse and will be for the next over 2 months now. It's a fun set. It's a fun set. And it is... This is there. What was the last time I was up? The last time it was playing Rabby Ribby. That's what it did. Rabby Ribby on Friday. Yeah, that was Friday, wasn't it? I'm not going mad. Yeah, I had one of those weekends where it's just like, what day? So what the time is it? But thankfully, I've got the repetition, the ritual of schedule to keep me on track. But in between streams, I'm just like, I have to do a lot of cleaning today. Got my place from getting a bit of a mess. But it's alright. I had a bit of a panic because I spilled an entire glass of lemonade on my desk. Thankfully, everything's fine. I'm worried I wasn't able to get between all the keys on my keyboard, so I hope it doesn't get sticky. I think I should be getting a new. Not the end of the world if it is fucked. Old and was breaking already. Ooh. No. That's unfortunate. I've never had a parade, but I've had like a I'd say I've had like a there's like one guy with a fucking full-on stage loudspeaker on his shoulder, blasting music right underneath my window. And it's like I didn't actually, because I couldn't see down onto the street from where my window is. I was like, where's this music coming from? I can hear it downstairs. Is it coming from the flat below? But I'd be able to tell if it's from the flat below. Coming from the shop? No, it was coming from outside. And I only found out who it was when there was, like, when there straight up was a dude walking. He started to leave, and I saw him walking off with, again, a full-on stage speaker blasting music, and he'd stood there for like an hour. So obviously not as long as he was. He was blasting music loud because he was talking to the people, one of the takeaways restaurants beneath that's like on the street. It's like so weird just to see this guy. It was like, sir, how do you hear anything? You just not have the worst tinnitus. Or tinnitus, sorry. I never know how to... One of those words I've never actually heard another person say. Okay. You do not get tinnitus instantly from blasting that directly next to your head. So that was weird. I think we haven't really had as much videoing off. I do live on a street that gets a couple of nudist cycling like races. Ooh, Jesus Christ, that is not good. Supermarket car park. Yeah, they were. You know, worst that comes close by my street. This is not worse. It's mostly just mildly amusing. Is a nudist cycling rally. It's just a lot of people cycling around with no clothes on, cycling through the street with no clothes on, and it's like over here we have as I think a lot of like especially European places have it. They have like rental bikes, like you put them on a stand and they've got a very big computer and you pay money to rent the bike out. And because there's a lot of people on these nudist cyclings, they don't have a bike, so they rent a bike. And I'm just like, I'm looking at these people. No underwear, no pants, nothing. There's being true to the form, and it's a really hot. Yeah, they don't blast. They do have music playing, but they don't like blast it, and they're constantly traveling. Yeah, they're stark naked, no pants at all, and I remember when I used to use those rental bikes. I haven't used them in a long time. They have the hardest, most painful, uncomfortable bike seat ones around here. They have the hardest, most painful, uncomfortable seat you could ever imagine. Basically a solid block of plastic with no cushioning. But it kind of has to be, because it has to be super durable. And these people in the middle of summer, in the middle of, as Apalfi is an incredible heat wave of the summer, with their bits just sitting on these seats, and I'm just like thinking, how are you not just having the most uncomfortable experience of your life now? But I guess they're having a good time, otherwise they wouldn't do it. It's usually for a good cause. Yeah, I'm not like calling for them to like stop, because it's like, it's not an inconvenience, it's a curiosity. I'm just like, maybe if you're an avid, because there are of course some people who go and they like still, it's the one time they've been and they're like, ooh, and they're still wearing like their pants or whatever. Because then you see the hardcore people who are like full on stark naked. It's just, yeah. But yeah, I don't really get much. Like the biggest main event I have. So that wasn't even on a like that's just like a regular nudist cyclist rather than someone on a special like charity event or whatever. Because around here it's like a charity thing they do like twice a year. Because they only do it in the summer, because otherwise they don't want one. If you do it in the winter around here, you'd freeze to death. You'd like literally. I guess it wouldn't be like not that cold. Not like north. So it's just yeah, very very interesting. Is there nothing wrong with that? It's always fun. I don't know if you've ever been on like a boat tour on a holiday or whatever, or even like maybe cruise or whatever, pass by like the nudist beaches. It's just funny. I don't know if I'm being mean, but just a lot of old naked people. So I just find it really funny, especially when if it's on a guided tour and they're trying not to draw attention to it. Or maybe they are drawing attention to it. But yeah, not much else going around on my end. I've been working on things for streams, working on things for IRL, just working on stuff. It's like trying to spruce up streams a little bit. Yeah, not much else. I think probably I'm running out of things to talk about, so that's always a good time to start putting up the video game. You can see I've added a little extra border to the stream. Well, you know, let's have a border. Makes it look like. It also means I know when I've got the screen size right. Doesn't mean if I ever stream anything. Ooh, yeah, I've been hearing like. Yeah, the thing I mentioned before, I've heard like good things about Engaged. I do want to get it, but I am just simply too poor. Maybe I do need to like. I do need to like open up my actually post my throne, but like games that I want to play on stream, but can't afford yet. Like I'm not expecting people to fund them completely, but worth a shot, I guess. I think it's a very common practice. I'm sure some people would prefer to support me that way rather than trying to give me money through the various really awkward ways. But yes, Shadowverse. Yes, our old favorite, old reliable. Yeah, I do want to play Fire Emblem Engage at some point. And yeah, so I was originally gonna open this stream with like a deck guide on the Sephi Runecraft. This is a kind of like, oh, this is a deck. A lot of people playing a lot of, and you can kind of like cut out a lot of the legendaries are kind of mostly optional toolkit stuff. You can cut them down, but like I had played a little bit just before stream. And I saw this deck, and it's a really, really weird deck. And I played one game with it so far. And to my surprise, actually won. Did help that I was probably against a fairly favoured matchup. So I'm tempted to go through to do a deck guide on this deck instead, because there's another deck you can run that you can run with only 3 legendaries, maybe even 2 legendaries. Rain is not necessary, though, a useful part of the kit. So I might do that. So, hang on, just let me do the little wait screen so I know. I'm gonna try and see if I can, like, I think this deck guide I'm gonna try and see if I can do, like, actual editing on. I want to, like, use it as a test for, like, very rudimentary editing skills. I don't really think I want to learn how to do subtitles or any kind of special zoom effects. I just want to learn how to, like, cut videos up properly and have that, that working on, so just the very basics, just so I can do my own stuff. If I want a properly edited video, then, because I don't want to be like one of those like, I see a lot of people like, oh, I've got to do everything. I've got to do my own graphic design. I've got to do my own video editing. I've got to do my own social media stuff. And so, Elias, do you want a? Because this deck I was gonna show off and like make a version of this deck that only has Sephi. It doesn't have any of the, because obviously the like meta stable version of this deck, it's got a shitload of legendaries in it, but you can do without them. I was thinking of doing a deck guide of that without them. I said this deck's just really interesting, and I don't think I've done a combo deck on stream before as a deck guide. So, because when I looked at this first deck, so yeah, so I'm just gonna do a little pop up the please wait screen just as a kind of like cut point so that I know just I've got a very definite start for the YouTube video point, and then yeah, I'll start going through it, and what I'll do is I'll things. How do I want to copy deck? Copy. Okay. So I guess I'll just use that loading screen as my cut. Anyway, so this is a variant of Magachio Forest. I saw it on the last JCG winners. It did come in 16th out of the top 16, but it still qualified for top 16, which means it's a viable deck at the very least. And it is a strictly combo-oriented version of Magachio. It has no ability to like to win without going for an OTK. It's an entirely OTK based deck. You might be able to get something that sticks on board and get a little bit of chip in, but the deck is built very much around using Magachio to just OTK your opponent with other condemned followers. And so starting with the kingpin of the deck, Magachio herself. Magachio, the Barb Convict. There's a card that does 2 play point 2/2 with fanfare, add 1 to the number of cards played this turn, so it increases your cards played count, which is important. And evolve for 0 evolution points, because her evolve is basically necessary for her to like actually function. So if you couldn't do that, it should be a bit rubbish. And so if you've had full turns where you've played at least 4 cards when you evolve her, so it can be the 4th turn can be the turn you actually like play Magachio herself, as long as you play the 4 cards before evolving her. And she gives +2/+2 in Storm to all allied condemned followers. Obviously, includes herself because she is condemned. She's set. And so, like, the initial idea was you'd run like all the other. Not Condomend. That is a very different deck. So you'd run all these other small condemned followers that you'd buff up that have the fanfares add 1 to your card, so you can get that 4 cards a turn fairly quickly. But this is a really interesting version because the only first of all, it only runs 2 Magachios in it, because it's trying to be very lean in a way. So the only condemned followers it runs, Magachio, Budding Initiate, who is a condemned card that draws another tutors a condemned card, and the neutral Warden, Warden of Recurrence. The Warden of Recurrence is the other like key part of the deck, really. It's an 8 play point 4/4, but whenever you played a condemned follower or non-follower card, so any spell or amulet doesn't have to be condemned, subtract 1 from the cost of this card. And that's kind of like the main thrust of it, is that you get this card to cheap and it's a 4/4, so it's decent stat line, 6 on Evo, but its Evo isn't really going to make that much of an impact, because the idea is you get like 2 or 3. This is like the way you increase your damage with Magachio. You want to give these +2/+2 in Storm, and have enough on these, and have enough of a board to just kill your opponent outright. And to facilitate that, a lot of the deck has a lot of card draw. It has what a lot of condemned decks don't do is have 3 Asvalts because it can find itself, but with this deck it's not that much of an issue. Because finding Asvalt itself just means you've got more Asvalts to play and you can increase your card count. So yeah, the idea is getting an OTK with playing 2... So to get an OTK you do need a few setups, but it's like because you need a very specific set of cards. You need like about 2 Wardens of Recurrence, a Magachio, and then any one other condemned follower. So it can be a Budding Initiate, not your second Magachio, or a 3rd Warden of Recurrence. And so that seems like a highly specific set of things to get, but there's a lot of different kinds of tutor in this deck. So one thing about the deck is, of course, it's only running very few Forestcraft cards, Forestcraft followers. So Silent Suzuka, or to use the normal version, is Woodland Pest Control. It says down there. Is you play this, the body is a 6 playpoint 3/3 storm with strike, do 2 damage to all enemy followers, but that's not something you play it for, really. It's 1 play, but the main thing you play it for is the Accelerate, which is Accelerate 1, return an allied follower amulet to your hand, put a random Forestcraft follower from your deck into your hand. So the only followers that Woodland Pest Control can get is Woodland Pest Control itself, Magachio, Rain, but Rain might have... But since there's only 1 Rain in this version of the deck, she's probably been tutored by her own Invocation, which is when you've played 4 cards. When you played your 4th card in a single turn, she gets invoked and invoked onto the board, bounces back to your hand, and her cost is changed to 1. And Budding Initiate, which is just for condemned followers. So already you're making this deck... This deck is very consistent in pulling the cards you need. Because you've got Silent Suzuka... Woodland Pest Control, sorry. Tutoring for your limited pool of forest followers, and then you've got Budding Initiate and Freya Asvalt tutoring for your very limited pool of condemned cards, and the rest is mostly card draw and like control spells. So you have Erosive Annihilation, 1 playpoint spell that gives your leader that for the next 3 turns, basically, you give all enemy followers -1/-1 at the end of your turn, which is an incredibly strong like early game control tool, because even if it doesn't outright kill the board, it makes the board a lot weaker. And just kind of like stops most early aggression dead in its tracks. Then like in this full version of the deck, it's running Gilonese, because she's just a very useful control tool, very useful mid-range tool as well. Because 2 playpoint 2/2 with Drain, and when you evolve her, you give +2/-2 to a follower in play. So you can just use her you can evolve her, target herself, and she becomes a 6/2 Drain, so she can heal a bunch from that whilst removing a pretty nasty threat, because that trades up pretty well. Prayer is obviously 2 playpoint 1/1, Fanfare, put a follower with a trait from your deck into your hand. The only followers with traits in this deck are, of course, condemned followers, so she will guarantee to pull either Warden of Recurrence, Magachio, Budding Initiate from your deck. Asvalt, the prison itself is obviously another condemned tutor. 2 playpoint Amulet with Countdown 2, Fanfare, put a random condemned card from your deck into your hand. Can fetch itself, but this is the one deck that doesn't really care too much about that. Again, partially because you're not really doing much on the board early game anyway, so you're mostly just cycling through decks. So Asvalt's finding Asvalt's is mostly just thinning your deck a bunch. And but yeah, and also it still draws a card on its last words anyway. And if you have more Evo points than your opponent, or it's 8th turn or later, it also pops itself instantly, which is nice. You just instantly get that card draw as well. So given this deck, you're probably not going to have it pop itself from the 8th turn or later effect. This deck is a very, I find, I've only played it once, but from what I've seen, the OTK is around turn 7 or 8, depending on how things go. So, don't think, oh, I should save my Asvelds, just play them as you can. You can also, because the deck has a bunch of bounces, you can of course bounce the Asvelds to get more out of its fanfare specifically, to tutor specifically for your condemned followers. Especially if you've like started. So it's an alright bounce target, and then the rest of the deck is kind of just like I don't actually. Rain, I'm not entirely sure of. Rain's a pretty typical staple 2 play point card since she's been introduced. It's 2 play point 2/2 with invocation. Whenever you play a card, if it's 4 card or later, you play this turn, invoke her, which means put her from your deck into play. Then you return her to your hand and change her cost to 1. When you evolve her, she evolves an unevolved allied forest craft follower, which is I suppose that's just kind of like she's a very powerful like mid-range control tool. You can get some very efficient board control with her. Or the other one of the fanfare on Warden of Recurrence can be pretty useful because he tucks a card into your deck and then tutors for a non-follower card from your deck into your hand. So you won't pull any follower. So he'll tuck he tucks any card from your hand and then tutors something that isn't a follower. And like the amount of spells like cost reduction you get in this deck means you can quite happily like play a Warden early and then bounce him, and then by the time it comes to do your combo, he'll cost like you don't need Warden to cost 0 like before you start your combo, because your combo will start with playing a Magachio or 2. As long as you play other cards first, they'll still reduce the cost of Warden. You might not even need the full play points by the time you actually get the OTK assembled. So it's very you don't have to have like you don't have to start your turn with 2/0 cost Warden of Recurrence. It's very easy to you can, as long as it's down to 4 or so, you should be able to play the full combo. Because by the time you actually play the Wardens, then you'll have then there'll be like a 2 or even there'll be like a 2 cost. Because you've played like Magachio and Budding Initiates. And the rest of the deck is mostly just control tools and stuff. So you've got spells like control tools and bounce. So you've got Floral Breeze to bounce followers, good things to bounce some followers or amulets, so good things to bounce are Budding Initiates, so you can tutor more cards, Prayer, tutor more cards, Asphalt itself to tutor more cards. You can like play a Magachio just to make sure you get to you can like play a Magachio even if she's not activated yet. You can play a Magachio, evolve her to take out threat, and then play bounce. It's either Floral Breeze or Silences or Woodland Pest Control to get her back into your hand because you need to keep her around. And you can play a Warden of Recurrence to do a similar kind of thing. You can play Rain herself and put her in. You can play Rain. You can play Rain, bounce her, then play a Warden of Recurrence to put Rain back into your deck, and then play a bounce on the Warden of Recurrence and get a Rain back into your hand, which is a fun little interaction you can do. it's a bit solitaire, but it gets you to four cards played, and you tutor out. You get to play your Woodland Pest Control accelerates to tutor some more Forestcraft followers, and you get to tutor a spell or amulet with Warden. So it works. It's a sensible idea. Cool. Like, and then you've got Feral Awakening, which the tutor effect on this is I saw this in the deck, and I can understand why this card's in the deck, but I don't know. The tutor is weird because if any, it's 1 play point, destroy an enemy follower with 4 attack or less, which is pretty good removal. Like that can hit a lot of things. That's a lot of annoying things in the current meta. Can quite happily deal with things. But also, if you've got any evolved allied followers in play, you tutor a random 5 attack follower, 5 or more attack follower from your deck into your hand. The only 5 attack follower in the game is Thunder God of the in the deck is Thunder God of the Tempest, which I suppose is still a handy card to have in your hand because most of the time you'll just crystallize it for the countdown. It's just a crystallize 1, countdown 1, last words, draw a card. So it's just a 1 play point cycle, effectively, in amulet form. That's kind of like delay the turn. But you can sometimes, if you... I don't think there's currently any, like, destroyable amulets that this is worth, like, holding on for. Like, you can accelerate it to destroy an enemy at 3. But, like, you're never going to use the Storm Ward body, because that's 7 play points is too much, and it's not going to increase your OTK damage by any. I guess it is just... The tutor is this is a nice bonus rather than anything you're kind of working towards, so don't feel bad about just using it to blow up an enemy dangerous enemy follower without getting the tutor effect, because it's not super important, but it can be useful in getting to your 4 cards played per turn, because you can Feral Awakening to tutor for a Thunder God, and then that's another 1 play point card you can play to add to your count, which might help you hit that 4 count. Seed Barrage is another, like, decent little control / card draw tool. There's 2 play points, deal 1 damage to a random enemy follower, draw a card. If at least 2 other cards were played this turn, you deal 2 damage and draw 2 cards instead. So it's a good way to keep your hand size going, keep your card play count going, and just keep your keep things... Get that 4 cards per turn whilst controlling the board and drawing cards to get to your OTK. Elven Craftsmanship is another card to kind of like get your card played count up. So it gives +1/+1 to and also helps give you a bit more reach on your OTK by buffing a follower in your hand. So you put that +1 so it's 2 play points. +1/+1 to a follower in your hand, add 1 to the number of cards played this turn, so it's 2 cards, it counts as 2 cards played, and deal 4 damage to a random enemy follower. So it controls the board, it increases your OTK range by you basically just put the buff on like Magachio or Ward, any of your condemned followers, so Magachio, Warden, or Budding Initiate. And then I think the only card I haven't talked about yet is the Illusions of Comfort, which is that Freya is only followers, yeah, so even though it's festive, it's not a follower, so Freya doesn't tutor for it. The 3 play point card, which is select a follower in play and then a follower in your hand. Transform the first follower into a Treant, which is a 4/4. With a fanfare that doesn't really matter because you're transforming something on board. And yeah, it's just a 4/4 Forestcraft follower. And then if 2 cards are played this turn, then the card in your hand becomes an Elder Treant that and its cost it becomes 0. The Elder Treant's quite useful. It's a 5/4. Or, with fanfare, evolve if at least 2 other cards were played this turn. So that's another way of controlling the board and dealing with annoying threats, because you transform them. Like, whilst a 4/4 is not a great thing to transform an enemy to, it can be a lot better than otherwise incredibly difficult to remove follower. It's one of the few ways to get rid of the Forest Craft. The Forest Craft Enforcer. Willamale. Because you can get rid of him without having him actually leave play, because you transform him, so that actually gets rid of at least one Willamale, but the problem is there's usually at least two. You can still go off from that. And also, if once you've hit that condition of two cards played, if you play two cards and then you play Illusion of Comfort, and that's your third card, and the Eldritch Treant becomes your fourth card. So it actually does help with you getting those 4 cards played per turn, so you can get to your PK completion quicker. I think that's it. So yeah, this is the general reminder. So the aim of your game plan is to have at least 1 Magachio in hand, at least 2 Warden of Recurrences in hand that are about at least 4 play points, that are reduced to at least 4 play points, and a any other condemned follower. So it can be, again, another cost reduced Warden of Recurrence, another Magachio, or another Budding Initiate. I'm just thinking that right, yeah, because Magachio and 2 Warden of Recurrences is 18 damage, because that's basically 3 6/6s with Storm. Then you just need at least 2 damage to OTK anyone who's still at 20 HP. If they've increased their health by a little bit, then you'll need more. So you could either have like 2 Budding Initiates, and then 2 Budding Initiates puts you up to 24 damage, which is a lot of beats out the max health increase from Giant Happy Pig. And the Forest Craft, the Benevolent Elf. Well, Benevolent Elf is only 2. There's not going to be. So yeah, so the question is, I want to go really cheap, and I don't want to make Jillianese because she's about to rotate out soonish, even though she's like a really useful legendary to have in a lot of decks. So what do you put instead? That is the question. So the main thing is it has to be a neutral card or a spell. We don't want it to add any more followers or any more you don't want to add any more Condemned or Forestcraft followers to the deck, because then that makes it less consistent. So the main thing, so as I'm not kind of like thinking out loud because I haven't actually had time to think about this, is Jillian's main reason for being in the deck is healing and control. So you kind of want a card that gives you that in return. So, not Angelic Strike, although Strike could be an option just as removal. You sacrifice you take out that big chunk of healing. You do get some. Is Athena not so important since you don't really care about your opponent healing? Angel's Blessing isn't a terrible card, especially if you're going second. Just some more card draw and can be healing. Goblin Assault is another option, just as cheap, more removal control options. Giant Happy Pig is also another good. Giant Happy Pig is probably your best option for replacing the healing, because you can. It's also a bit versatile because you can play it on 2 or play it on 6. And if you play it on 2, it's an accelerate, so it does count as a it does reduce Warden of Recurrences cost. So I'm thinking Giant Happy Pig's probably the best option. just out of... Yeah, I'm trying to think. Angelic Poacher isn't a great option. But yeah, for the cost, I think, yeah, just giant. Yeah, I can't think of anything better than. Let's look at Forestcraft spells first of all. Look at Forestcraft spells or amulets that might be good. Rejuvenating Resurrection gives you another bounce, so it's not the best option. Whirlwind Assault is useless. Sylvan Justice is always an alright card. You could put in a third Seed Barrage. Gale Pierce. Yep, Gale Pierce could be an option. Yeah, you could put some more. Actually, I'm gonna put I'm gonna try putting Gale Pierces in the deck. I'm gonna put 2 Gale Pierces and a third Seed Barrage. Because that gives you another bounce, and also it actually gives you a little bit of damage to the enemy leader that can. Well, so if they don't have any healing, that can possibly make a difference. But it's like I'd say either Gale Pierce or Giant Happy Pig. And then yeah, keep the add a third Seed Barrage instead. I'd say you want to keep Rain if you can, just because she's a very useful little tool, and the future effect makes it quite powerful just to have 1 copy. And it's like the deck only runs 2 copies of Magachio, again, because it's trying to cut down on anything that is anything not strictly necessary in the actual package. You could of course put in a third Illusions of Comfort instead. I think it's a bit at 3 play points. It's probably a bit too clunky, but again, also Rejuvenating Resurrection, pretty alright. You don't really get much benefit out of the free Evo, but it's alright. It's another bounce. It's just not. Just Floral Breeze is arguably better. And also, Rejuvenating Resurrection can only bounce Forestcraft followers, whilst Floral Breeze can bounce anything. As can Woodland Pest Control. Or anything on your side of the field. You can't bounce any, so that would be a bit bonkers. But, yeah, I don't think Sylvan Justice probably, because you probably don't want to put fairies in your hand, but you can put fairies on the board. It's a good way of getting more stuff. But yeah, I'm going to try this, so... That is budget OTK. So yeah, that is. I will I do have the anniversary Orisa, so use with the alright. Where is Magachio sleeves I just got from the G? There you are. But yeah, so that's a quick little deck guide. I'll try and put it up later on YouTube today, and yeah, I'll just be very quiet whilst I switch over. Let's play a game or 2 of it, and hopefully not. We've got to return to the title screen. That'll make for a good edit of this. So if you're watching on YouTube, thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe. I will hopefully have remembered to start putting my VODs up, because I forgot to do for a week. And yes, please watch my streams on twitch.tv/KurosamiVT. Okay. Get our stuff. Let us dive into a game. With this, I'll do 1 game with the budget version, and then I'll start doing games with the proper version. So yeah, I feel like without Jilanese, I'm probably going to die. Okay, so we're playing against a Forest Craft deck. They're playing the normal Orisa. Also got the... So... This is probably a good hand to... I'm gonna... Against Forest, I'm gonna tuck the Feral Awakening because they might be playing... Like, it's more likely that they're playing, a control-based Forest deck. So they're not gonna play much of an early board that, deals with me. So I just want these because I want the god to... So I'll play that now to cycle, but what I'll probably do is save Freya for turn 4. So that then I can... Hopefully... Okay, that's good. I'm going to save Freya for turn 4. What I am going to do is... Okay, yeah, that's, I'm going to... Elves and Craftsmanship Magachio. That's possibly a waste, but I wanted to get, Buddy. Okay, so we got our second Magachio now, so we just need one more Warden of Recurrence and we can start, assembling the OTK, but we also need to... Ah, shit, that's... I think I fucked this up. Oh no, I think we can do this because we can Freya. Refunds a play point. Bounce Freya with Silent Suzuka. And then Freya again. And I think just bounce her with Silent Suzuka again. I bounce the Silent Suzuka. I'm going to bounce the Floral Breeze so that I don't overdraw. Yeah, because otherwise I draw too many. I forgot about Rain. But it's okay. Overdrawing isn't actually too bad. Because we have basically our entire combo in hand. So we just need to consistently get 4 cards at a turn. They're going to do, yeah, they're doing their nonsense first though, which is a problem. Really wish that they're doing their Hoizumi turn. I'm just thinking, how do I deal with that? We'll probably need to use again, we don't have... This is where the lack of a... At least it means we don't get the zero cost windmill because we didn't have anything on board. Okay, so... Start with Freya. We don't want to let... Because the one thing we really don't want is that is Cosmos Fang still around. So I can... Well, we can deal with that. Thinking what's... Oh, we don't really need to... I forgot, Budding Initiative... No, Budding Initiative does not gain. So I'm just thinking what's... Like... This is the problem. Is that... This Budding Initiative won't actually draw us anything because we've got all our Wardens and all our things. So I think what I'd rather do... A terrible idea, but actually, yeah, we're gonna have to do that too. Yeah, because she doesn't shoot, and there's no point trading because he just comes back. So. So we just need to survive one more turn. Yeah, this is going to hurt a lot. We just need to find a way to somehow... I don't know if there's a way we can... Yeah, this is really not without... What we... So... This is really awkward because we don't have... I'm going to start with Warden of Recurrent. Actually, if I Warden of Recurrence... Getting rid of Seed Barrage, because that's not actually particularly useful. Yeah. Okay, I've got... That is non-illusions of comfort deck. So... I should have possibly... We Asvault to try and draw illusions of comfort. That is not illusions of comfort, but it is actually something that's going to keep us alive. I'm just trying to think, what else do I play this? So I need to reduce the damage. I need to get rid of that PSI, because that's going to do a lot of damage. Then yeah. Now we just wait and hope that they... No, we're dead. They just evolve. Yeah, they just have us dead on board. That didn't... Because we really needed to draw illusions of comfort to be able to get rid of the stuff on their board. Also, they had they did have the a really, really fast Haizumi. They had earliest possible Haizumi because they had double 10-5 Haizumi is really nasty because they have double Garurel. I guess that you still like, yeah. If we had, I said we really needed so maybe Giant Happy Pig is probably the better option, just so you have the healing. But yeah, I miscalculated. I thought I had a bit more ways to deal with that board. We did not. I'm not telling you this isn't like the best of decks, but it is a fun deck. I want to play it a few times. And so yeah, we're playing the less budget version now. I'm not going to keep Jilnies in hand. We are... Yeah, that would have been a very good card to have. And because then we could have blown up the... one of the followers that killed us. What we really needed is Erosive Annihilation like a turn earlier. Yeah. Okay, so they're playing... They're playing Sephi Rune. Means they're probably not going to be able to deal with Freya, so and yeah, so they have the test subject on 2. I would... Question is, do I want value or do I want to... I think I want to tutor more options rather than removing things right now. I could Feral Awakening... Yeah, I'm just going to do this option. Then I'll start looking at they probably might just trade into Freya just to stop me from bouncing her repeatedly and tutoring out my options. They might want to stop that. They're going to play Obsessive Scholar this turn. So currently No, they're just going straight for the jugular. Seed Barrage is pretty good. In this case, I will do... So yeah, So yeah, we can get the... Then we don't get to... Question is... I want to start getting to 4 as soon. A great option. So we want to... These 1/1 Banes are actually quite annoying for them because they deal with their test subjects. The test subjects are their main form of removal. Obviously, not that great when you're dealing with a Bane. Yeah, that's. Okay, they're not getting. At least that wasn't. That's actually slightly better for us because that means they'll probably trade those two rather than go face, because otherwise Astron dies for free. Okay, the question is, how do we kill Meg? So, drawing that rain is actually a bit of a pain. So, what I'll probably do... Probably use... I don't have any bounce in hand is the annoying thing, and I do want to save this Warden. So, actually, let's... Asphalt. Stopping... She isn't tutoring here, but it is... Wedding Initiate. Seed Barrage. And evolve, I think, yeah, just evolve the Initiate to kill the Meth. Because, no, evolve the Warden, tuck in Rain. Does that mean she comes back into my hand or not? No, that interaction does work. I'm going to evolve. So we've used up a Warden, which is not great, but we've got 2 Wardens and 2 Magicians, so we've still got the OTK in hand. But we wanted to make sure we got to 4 cards played this turn. That was incredibly important that we did that. Otherwise, otherwise we wouldn't reach the amount needed. Question is, only current saving grace is that they're not getting 5/5 volunteer test subjects. They've got Ansefi in hand, and they're just making 1 more. They're going to, as like the drain doesn't really matter because OTK deck. I just need to do the mess. I'll probably end up wasting one of the... Yeah, I have to waste one of these Erosive Annihilations because they don't stack, but I need to have the cards played so that I can play this Illusions of Comfort and guarantee... Actually, I don't need to waste them because I can simply play... Should have played Freya first. I don't think there's anything left for her to... Yeah, there's nothing left for her to tutor anyway. And then, yeah, Illusions of Comfort... I'm actually going to turn... I might as well turn Freya into a 4/4 and Thunder God because it's not actually relevant to it. Combo, and then, yeah. So as long as we survive next turn... I'm actually going to evolve this... I might as well evolve the Treant. Because we're going to kill next turn anyway. We might as well have something in play that they can't just instantly trade in a But now the question is, can they kill us? Do they have two Cephis in hand? Because they have two Cephis in hand, we're dead. But, okay, they don't have two Cephis in hand, they're dead. We win. We simply play Magachio, Warden, and we win. Simple as. Yeah. Magachio. Warden. Oh wait, we need to turn a cut. Foundation doesn't really matter. But tuck in the cut. Rain as well. Evolve a Magachio. You could even Illusions of Comfort, but that doesn't do anything. 22 damage, baby! Boom! That's how it works. So the actual card changes there didn't actually make any kind of difference. I suppose. Thinking about it, I'm actually going to go back and change the budget version of the deck a little. If I think about it, the as known as replacing it with a gold, so we don't want 3 Seed Barrages and we don't want 2 Gale Pierces. There's one thing I've realised, of course, is the is kind of like the balance of having that of this slot being a follower, because of course Warden of Recurrence tutors for a non-follower, so it does affect like the consistency of the deck in that way. So I'm thinking a neutral follower doesn't actually affect anything else, and again, Giant Happy Pig has the advantage of having an accelerate, which means it counts as a non-follower for when you accelerate it counts as a non-follower for Warden of Recurrence's cost reduction. So you can just play it as a 2/2 Happy Pig, which is a 2/2 that heals you for 1. It's not quite Gillenese, but still could be the one thing, and obviously an actual Giant Happy Pig on 6, which you probably won't want to play that much because that'll be a singular card on turn 6, which at that point, that's the kind of like main sticking point, is you probably wouldn't play Giant Happy Pig on 6 in this deck, because you'd much rather you kind of have to get to your 4 cards played on turn 6. It's on that turn. So you would probably just be playing Giant Happy Pig as a 2/2. Just much less healing than things, but it's like you're trading the burst healing of Gillenese for the like being an accelerate follower. I'll play that again. Yeah, I usually don't gel well with OTK decks, but I like this one. Also, it's using Magachio, and I like Magachio. Oh. It's like, is it a fun deck that I get to build around someone, a character that's hot? Then I'm gonna go for it. Okay, so we don't want Rain in our hand, kind of, because we only want to like put Rain back in our deck as often as possible. Do I want to keep the Budding Initiate? No, I think I'm just going to keep the Undergod. So we've got Gilles in hand here. So we could probably play... I was thinking what's... Illusions of Comfort is pretty... I'm going to... Yeah, because we need to silence Suzuka to draw him a Thunder God and bounce back, because that's not useful. Yeah, Illusions of Comfort can be pretty good because we can remove a really annoying... Okay, that's pretty much exactly what I wanted. I'm actually going to save the other cards so that I can hold them for a... hold them for a turn when it actually meant I could have played Seed Barrage there. Yugen Moonin isn't fine because they'll just die at the end of our next turn anyway, so we can kind of just like hold cards this turn. I would like to somehow... Okay. So... Since we Thunder God, bounce, Thunder God, that's only 3 cards. So I'm still going to hold cards and still we can start using these to, or 4. Because we've got a Rose of Annihilation to clear, set up to clear their board anyway. Does mean they get to reanimate the Fallen Sergeants. Very efficient. That's... Like, they're getting their nonsense going. Okay, so... Asval... Not great. I'm trying to think what's the best play here. I really wish we had one more, So I'm going to just drop Asval again. So they'll have 3 power on the board, which is kind of annoying, but it also locks their board up a little. So it's going to be slightly more awkward to get to their last word count. Like, they're going to hit us, but as long as we don't, like... Like, I might just... So one of the things I'm probably going to do this turn is... play Gilles and trade her into that Deathcat Reaper. What I want to avoid is letting them have enough of a board to kind of like, because they've only had 5 last word cards to destroy. Really annoying is our lack of so please, Asval, draw me the 1 play point for. Okay. So now we can start getting to 4 cards played a turn. The annoying thing is we do leave an follower up to help them get their last word count going up, which is not ideal. We also haven't gotten any this is not really going quite badly. We haven't had any wardens in hand. We have no wardens in hand at all. We'll draw a couple of cards next turn, and we'll have our illusion. We can pop off Illusions of Comfort at the very least. Okay, Elven Craftsmanship is a very good card for her. So... that has to be at 13, so using Gilles for healing is... I want to Elven Craftsmanship as Magachio, because we're trying to increase... nothing. Okay, that hit that, which is not ideal. But, Illusions of Comfort, one of these Chaotic Dooms, because it's their most powerful, last words on the field right now. And... Probably rain because we need that agility. And rain into Gillenese. Hopefully that doesn't kill her. It can. Oh no, it only does 3 damage, doesn't it? Healed them, that's our best outcome. And then we bop the Elder Treant, that, and probably should have saved that actually for the next turn. Whoops. And then Deathcat Reaper because it stops them tutoring up a card. They can get to 10. Ah, fucked it up, haven't I? Now they can get to 10. But I don't think we're winning this anyway. We didn't have any of our wardens in hand. We have 0 wardens in hand. Yeah. We are so screwed! We're dead. Yeah. Yeah, fucked up a bit by playing the Elder Treant was just a mistake anyway, but I don't think it would have mattered that much actually. I think we were dead regardless. Just a poor draw. I think I probably should have focused maybe more on drawing cards rather than probably should have maybe done those seed barrages more. Because yeah, we just didn't have any wardens in hand. That's a problem. We had the worst Asphalt pulls, we had the worst Budding Initiates only drew more Budding Initiates. It's like, if Asphalt only drew Condemned Followers, it's such a better card. Okay, so I'm gonna keep this because at very least we can Thunder God silence Suzuka. So it is Portal, which we should have a pretty interesting advantage against. Best to Erosive Night. So now it might be better to kind of just wait until turn 4, really. It's one of those weird decks. Yeah, you get your Kasim, whatever. He's not that threatening. Okay, yeah, I'm actually gonna not bother playing anything this turn. I'm gonna wait until turn 4 because then I can guarantee Ford Cars played that turn. I think. No, not quite. Seems gonna die this turn. I'm gonna just wait. They're not gonna play anything. Okay, perfect. So we can just Freya, Suzuka. Freya again. And then, in the name of not overdrawing, Thunder God at the 10. No, wait, that will... Ah, goddamn, we haven't got... We're going to overdraw, but it's going to be fine. I'm actually going to play... Maybe Budding... No, Thunder God of the Tempest. Yeah, we're going to overdraw because it involves putting rain into our hand. And... because I can, I might as well evolve. Like, by the time you run out of Evo points, the game is over. Is the thing with this deck. So there's no point saving them, especially with this hand. We will overdraw by 1 next turn, which is not great. But we've got a lot of, it's still like that Evo meant something. Okay, oh, Feral Awakening's here. So Don't really care about the tutor of Feral Awakening, so I'm just going to use it. Kill Cassim there. Then Rain. Budding Initiate. Evolve, Budding Initiate. Doesn't really matter. And then Silent Suzuka, the Budding Initiate. And then we draw another Budding Initiate who just... So we might as well play. Let's see, what's our... So we're at 2, so we need to survive. So we've got one more turn off this. So I'm going to... Maybe I think I bounce. This does put us at risk of overdrawing, but I am bouncing the Rain because I want to have that control option. Because they might... Yeah. The only thing that's going to be a pain, that's fine. Okay, so we just need to get 4 cards played this turn. All we need. Do that whilst... We pretty much just do that by playing... our hand. I'm going to keep... I'm actually going to keep one Budding Initiate in hand in case they play, So we can pop Magachio back in, because next time we'll play one of these Budding Initiates, and that will tutor her back anyway. Yeah, we can't. And yeah, we want to make sure the opponent doesn't actually have a board for them to get additional damage. And there's very little worth we need to keep this Asphalt in hand for. So yeah, the main reason I kept a Budding Initiate in hand is because if they play if they suddenly drop a Ah, shit, forgot about him. Shit, they killed the fucking... I forgot they can play 2 wards with that. Okay, that's fine actually now. Think? Yeah, no, it's fine, because we can... So, you know, this should be fine. Fine, it's fine. It's fine! We can kill because we've still got a follower on board. We only need... Yeah, we've got more than enough. Yeah. I don't actually... Yeah. So we... Shit. One off! Fuck! Fucked it. It's fine, we just need to not die this turn. We're dead! Why did they take Forged Weaponry twice? Ah, I fucked that up. I did that in the wrong one. I should have played the I could have won that. I could have won that. What I should have done is traded off the rail before evolving traded off rail and played the second Magachio. I kind of like brain farted there. Because if I traded the rail, I could have I still had 2 play points left, so I had enough to play the second Magachio, and that would have been enough. Fucked up. And keep this entire hand. Probably shouldn't have kept Seed Barrage. Shouldn't have kept Feral Awakening against Forest either. That was a terrible idea. Yeah, we had the win there and I fucked it up. It's not worth. Ooh, they're running that to try and stop the O2K. Well, thankfully, I have... Do I actually want to play anything this turn yet? No, I do not. So what I can do next turn is Magachio bounce Feral Awakening. Like, they're trying to anti-OTK themselves, but because we've got cards like Eldman's Craftsmanship in hand. Yeah, so we can start getting to... Yeah, we can... Yeah. Okay, we do need to kind of stop them constantly bouncing that. So, as much as I'd love to play Budding Initiate here, I think it's better Feral Awakening to just get rid of it. Yeah, so we're gonna need to overkill a bit here. Because they are rapidly increasing their max HP. Thankfully, we don't really care about its board clearing power. We just want them to... So I'm going to start with... Elven Craftsmanship. Magachio. And then... Seed Barrage. Into Erosive Annihilation. Need to play Erosive Annihilation here. Need to set that up. I'm gonna play Budding Initiative. Because I want to tutor for... Probably should have played that a bit earlier, but oh well. So I would like to tutor for more Wardens to increase our OTK power whilst Budding Initiative. And we want to actually hold on to our Evo points, because if they do evolve this turn and don't use up an Evo point, we get to Greater Will is fine. We literally do not care about that card. We do not care about one. We want to by killing it off with the Erosive Annihilation anyway. They didn't use an Evo point, which I was kind of hoping they would. So, I'm just trying to think. Probably... I'm gonna go for this bouncing as well. So we at our okay, but we need more. I'm just trying to think. 6, 12, 18, 12, 18, 21, 6, 12, 18. Yeah, so I think just play the Erosive Annihilation because we need to reduce these wardens. But I think we kill them next turn unless they increase their HP by more. That's fine, because that doesn't increase their, like, HP. They don't heal now, and we're not killing their pigs. But yeah, so that's 6, 12. Let's get started. Otherwise, if I wait another turn, we've lost anyway. So, I get you. Budding Initiate. Don't play another Budding Initiate because otherwise we don't have the board base. Warden, whatever. Unless we draw one card that we can draw that does, this is why I'm deliberately putting in followers, because if we get the, obviously if you get the Elvish Craftsmanship, that's well play. Doesn't really matter at this. I fucked that up. But I think we're still, I forgot I was trying not to kill anything. But this should still be lethal. If they survive on 1, I'm gonna cry. No, they're dead. They're very dead. That was 28 damage we had. Not even the, yeah, so we actually had enough to beat them even if they fully healed. They are... The Seed Barrage was a bit of a mistake. There was no point playing that. I was trying to see... So it's always fun when you've got an OTK that can actually kill through HP increases, because obviously that's like the main defense against most OTKs, because they're mostly built around doing exactly 20 damage or slightly more. But when you actually have a higher damage potential just by being a bit patient or lucky, then you're really quite effective. It's like, I think we're on a kind of like general positive win ratio. Like the last Portal game, we only buggered up by I'll keep all these cards. Like, I don't know, I'm still very unsure about the mulligan for this deck, so that's probably where I'm going wrong in a lot of places. But yeah, we would have won that game against the Portal Craft if we had actually done our OTK properly. That is a problem, so probably going to have to Elvish Craftsman. Or annoying, because I'd much rather save that for another... Yeah, I'm going to let them exist for a bit. Okay, so it's Control Portal. Depending on how many HP increase procs that gets, that could be very annoying. That's also why I'm not too fussed about just going to Freya and Floral Bleed. There. Floral Breeze. And then next time we can get an easy for cards just by playing Elven's Craftsmanship twice, especially if they play another thing on the board. Okay, so it's Highlander Portal. Interesting. They've got 1 HP increase off that arc, which is a bit annoying. But I'm just trying to think what's our... I do want to make sure I get rid of... assume. Yeah. Best just to see what the 50-50 hits. If we can draw if we can draw a so yeah, they're getting their shit ready. It's celestial artifacts. What artifacts are actually? I guess you're running Robopop at the very least. Obviously, Realmia, interesting indeed. At least we can consistently have more Evo points though. So. We don't kind of want to don't leave them with anything on board because they've got a few nasty tricks to do. So and then actually, oh yeah, might as well Floral Breeze again. Hopefully they don't do any Evo point recovery because we want to be able to do Freya nonsense again next. Okay, doing their usual nonsense. We do want to make sure they don't let any not that scary a turn, just hard drawing. Drawing lots of cards. Healing HP. Okay, so they're on 22, but again, not that much of an issue for them. So. Get our budding initiate and going. Okay, so we can just. So this will draw us a warden for sure. What's our actual and yeah, we're ready to OTK next turn. So I'll leave. No, I can't because she can only evolve. We need to evolve to with him. I'll leave the Bane followers up because they can be a bit annoying. They can be really annoying. And is it worth swinging out these Thunder Gods? Actually, yes, because we need to reduce the cost of that last Warden a bit. And we don't care about about having the and they'll cycle, so we'll have cards to Okay, so they're getting their Evo point recovery, which means they get all effects on their arc, which is a bit annoying. So that's otherwise not a particularly like that's not healing them, so that's fine. And they're trading off. And I'm pretty damn sure we kill again. Like we don't even need to play the budding initiate. We just play Magachio, Warden. Is definitely, as we've just shown, it's definitely more than Okay. Magachio. Magachio. Warden. be a lot easier if you didn't have to tutor a card with every As much as I'd love to, yeah, we can play Elven Craftsmanship for even more damage. Let's do that. Let's just go full ham because we can. This is just mean. If it wasn't on stream, I wouldn't do this, but because I am. Such overkill. We can't even attack with everything. That was... Okay. So this is a legit deck. This isn't some... Yeah. Streaming makes you toxic, man. Streaming makes you toxic. I usually just like, okay, I'll kill you in the most... I'll just kill them the quickest because I just want to get this over with. But man, streaming makes you toxic. Gotta put on a show. Gotta put on a show for the audience. That means being very mean. Also, no one's... This deck is obviously like kind of come out of nowhere. No one's expecting fucking this form. No one fucking expects you to drop 3 Warden of Recurrence. People forget this card fucking exists. It's not played in almost any other deck. But here it is, being the star of a very, very weird deck. It's just... The deck only has 2 Magacheers in it, and if you put 3 Magacheers, it's probably significantly worse. Because that reduces your chance of having 3 Wardens in your hand. And you only need 2, really. It's insane. It's insane that this deck works. And that it's like, obviously that last Portal deck game was not particularly meta deck. They were playing Highlander Portal, which is deeply inconsistent. And they were really lucky to have an early arc, which is there. But still, we could have won the game against Puppet Portal. We could have won that game. I fucked up, which makes me real sad. Because all I had to do was trade before evolving Magacheer, and we would have been able to kill. Because we won the we won the like 2 out of 3. If it hit the other guy, we wouldn't have been able to remove both of them. Would have been bad. But yeah. Fuck life. Yeah, okay, so... Anyone else? There was one to play... This is just the version of Guess that I was looking at. I'm just going to do a quick, because there was a, like a newer version, a newer, like, more optimized version of Rune. Doing a bit. It didn't win last. It was in the JCG before. So just do a quick on this. What was the? No, there was no. If apparently I was going mad. It hasn't been rune. Oh, here's the one with one of the. So let me just make sure I've got the same kind of. Well, I'll just go give it a little change up. It's running a few different cards in this, so it's not running enchanting spells, it's still running insights, it's running birds, 3 things, no magic missile. Stories, 3 strategies, 2 screens, Uranus. Hence. How many Uranuses? 3 Uranuses. Rings, yeah, there's 3 rooks, 3 checks, 2 goblins. One of these crushing instead running via goblin assault. Silver is two Olivia and Sylvia. This is a couple of JCGs ago, so it's not like the tippity top, but it is the latest version of chess that I can find. It's gone through a lot of weird changes, but it is like decently usable now. So let's see. Let us see how this does. Things Ringgrove, they're probably playing Best Subject Rune, Sephi Rune. Prime Science, as I call it. Okay, that's a pretty good start. Against Test Subject Rune, I'm going to keep... This is probably Test Subject Rune, I'm going to keep Uranus, because he can be quite good at stopping the early Okay, Sacred Bird means literally nothing. Every rune deck under the sun runs Sacred Bird Wisdom. So we're gonna play Milady. And then what we'll do is if they play a test subject, Uranus it, and they play Freya, so you don't want to Uranus that because we want to... They are playing test subject route. So in that case, we will play an Insight. That summons 2 magical pawns. Clear off that Freya quite easily. And if they survive the next turn, we get a quite good turn because we get to play the magical strategy. Oh, they're playing chess as well! Shit! Wasn't expecting that! Okay. What we can do, get a really early aggressive magical knight on the board. So we've gotten a lot of value out of our the ladies here. We've generated a bunch of pawns and a bunch of things because we're already at 4 out of 8 pawns. 4 out of 8 pawns, agree. So yeah. She's gone, but she's done her task admirably. We've got another one in hand, so we can probably get to 4 pawns this turn. But actually, no, we can't because there's our Mystic King. The only problem is, yeah, we can't really get ourselves to this discount just yet, just because they haven't, because we can't get get value. So we'll have our Mystic King doing shit starting next turn. He'll be active then. They'll probably also... Like, they're not going to be active this turn. Unless I'm going mad and haven't been counting properly. Yeah, they've only had 4 points leave play, so even if they use up this and... Okay, so they can get... We'll both be sitting on... Okay, so... We've hit max chess already. We start with this because we want to... Hold on to the check because we want to actually use that to... Oh, that. Might as well damage in where we can. This is going to overdraw us a bit, but I think it's worth doing. Just okay, and we only lost a card seer. Okay. We're going to want to force them to try and clear our board, and then hopefully they just don't play any wards. We don't have... What we can do is Mystic King, and even if we don't kill them... I should have evolved... No, don't need to. Even if we don't kill them with the Mystic King, it still threatens... Kill them? Because we've got, so we'll have 7 play points next turn, so we can play a Mystic King and a 2 play point spell, which isn't great. But we have another Mystic King, because we have got the second Mystic King in hand, that will allow us, basically we can put them on a really low spot and punch through, because they're only going to start getting their Mystic King discounts this turn. They're trying not to die, so... In that case, we just... can start burning the checks. Burning cards, but what you gotta do. This is why check is a good card. Although we can't kill them this turn, we've got ample opportunity to wipe out their board and kill them with, like, even if they Mystic King, we can, like, double Uranus. So they need to Mystic King and heal a bunch. Olivia and Sylvia does very little here. They can Olivia, Sylvia, and Mystic King, but again, we don't really care. I'll just play the double Uranus here. Yeah. This literally doesn't save them. And their damage is reduced because they've used up a board slot to board clear with Olivia. One Uranus. 2 Uranus. We can't play the 3rd Uranus. I didn't show off there, but admittedly then we did play a We did play chess and not play the king, which some would argue was weird, but we got to hear the king because our opponent played it. But that's why check's a really good good card. It's like, oh, I've got to leave you board locked so that you with your pawns, and I'm just like, okay, cool. I play check, and fucking smash you down. Ooh, swordcraft's good. I see. Okay. I really shouldn't keep Mystic Keep opening. I'm gonna keep. We've got a really good opening hand otherwise because we've got Milady into Mystical Rook, which is got Story of a Lifetime. Uranus on also nice. Ah! Yes, the one card I was afraid of. The one combination that stopped that made our opening less good was Adherent to following us into Ultimate Hollow. Now we're in a bit of a pickle. We don't really have great options. Probably just have to do the very awkward, depends on what we draw. If we draw any kind of, okay, so kind of have to just, we can't leave that alive, and no other options really help. This has gone a bit Pete-Tong. I don't think we're winning Loot Sword with this awkward of a hand. If I'd saved the Milady, we'd probably be in a much better position, but I didn't. So that counts. Story of a Lifetime. Given that we just drew Sacred. Yeah, Story of a Lifetime cards here because it's not being very useful to us right now. Right. We really need checks. Bonds, so we can. Okay. Now things can start happening, but we're going very slowly against a deck that can quite easily kill us. And now they dropped a huge, scary board. This mega sucks. Okay, so. What do you have for us? Magical strategy. Another magical strategy. Awful. But let's see what you hit. Okay. Manageable. This is manageable. Oh, which of these do I even kill? I'm so fucked. Oh, this has gone real bad, real fast. And we're still short of Mystic Kings. I don't think we're winning this. I don't think we're winning this one, friends. At least they don't have Pirates flags yet. They don't want to draw too many cards. Taking a lot of damage, friends. Really needed, we can do... No, because Story of the Lifetime only draws... Aha, okay. We can... Okay, so Olivia and Sylvia isn't actually gonna help. Any restores. Insight. Story of a Lifetime discarding. Curing Snake. Really wish I had Uranus. Not progressing any of our chess shit though, so I think we're a wee bit screwed. Just we're not dead on board yet. Now we're dead. When did they fuse though? That was a terrible. They don't need to save that Evo point. Like, no point playing that out. I saw that they have the Barbaros in hand. Turn 7, she gains Storm. That's more than enough to kill me. They didn't need to fuse unless they were trying to get to the 7 count. That doesn't matter, I was dead regardless. I did not have enough, See, I don't let people show off. I'm not letting them show off. Go way overkill. I see you can do, like, there is possibly a merit in, like, waiting and seeing if they fuck up. But, yeah, unlikely. Like, they're unlikely to fuck up in that situation. Please give me chess cards. Much better. But yeah, we just had I really shouldn't have kept them. And, like, them having the option to being able to clear that Milady kind of, like, ruined my whole line. Against Dragoncraft, they can... I'm still gonna do it. If they're armed, we're screwed. If they're not armed... Okay, they're armed, but they didn't play any of the Rush followers, so we are absolutely fine and dandy. We can just play a magical rook. Look how lovely this goes. Free magical strategy. Let's get all this value. And next time we can do it again. So there are 2 armed so far. Said might as well just look again, get another magical strategy. Some chip in. They do have a little bit of healing. Well, the moment depends if they're running the Okay, what are you, Draconic Weapon? A Freya. Standard? Standard. And then a Sealong. I don't get why so many people are running Ramp in Armed Dragon. I've just seen it perform worse. Like, they might still beat us here. But I've just seen it, I've only ever seen it perform worse than Anyway, I'm gonna do this combination. Start with evolving the lady. I probably could have done a different one. I play magical strat. Skewering snap. Honestly, I don't really care. Mostly just trading these to ensure I've got board space and I don't get board locked, really. Possibly could have traded in the last magical pawn. I don't know if it was worth the extra 1 damage, but I'm gonna say it counts. They're doing they've got a bit of healing going on. It's gonna be a problem when they hit turn 7 and they start dropping the big annoying ward. And they're doing my job for me, so. But yeah, I don't know what I feel about like the more control-y oriented. Yeah, oh yeah, because they wanted Leviathan Dragon active, so they're probably just going to swap it to Blast Form. That's fine. Heal Blast Form pretty easily. Yep. Gonna shoot me. I don't know, they do recover play points. I keep forgetting Blast Form recovers play points. Aren't they going to do anything scary with those play points? Not particularly. Okay, that's a bit scary. That's 10 damage. No king is annoying. So, we want to kind of like just make a shitload of pawns so we can be bored, really. Start with... Problem is we don't really have the... Okay, so just need to bomb 1. We want to hold on to this. We don't have any healing here, is the problem. Like, we can clear the board, but no healing, no king. What's this? I'm actually going... No, because of the story we can't clear, so we have to magical strategy and overdraw and hope. Fuck! Fuck my life! We're certainly dead. Smash. Definitely Forte and some other damage, aren't they? Yep. One, not quite dead yet. We can't do anything about that Forte, but we're not quite dead yet. Unless we draw... Okay, we didn't die, but we are still kind of screwed because... Shit. This is general... buggery. We still can't get rid of that Forte, and they're probably going to have some way of dealing with our shit. Ah, this sucks so much. We're so screwed. There is no way out. But I'm gonna play the cards anyway. Not helpful at all. All they need is any kind of form of removal. Or damage. We almost certainly do. Yep, they've got it. Say impatient, are you? But I'm the one quitting when I know that I've lost. You really needed to draw another Scaring Snare to deal with. As long as we were dead anyway. Like, there was no way we could avoid dying there because they had Leviathan Dragon in hand. We could make a massive board. Do whatever we want. Armed Dragon does not care. Again, still not entirely sure if there's any point to having... Like, I guess, like, Sealong still like a very good control card because you get that removal spell and you get the healing as well. But I'd rather much just play the deck far more aggressively. Okay. I'm going to keep this hand. Might be a bit risky against Swordcraft. Okay, we drew a 2-drop, we're fine. They're playing Warden of Honor in their deck. Is it more pure rally sword? Interesting. You're going to play on 2 then. Luminous Lancer. It's just rally sword. Curious, curious. It's Commander Sword. So interesting. Okay. Can do this little thing. More damage in. Okay, so we just want. That certainly is a bunch of removal. Is it commanders that have been destroyed or left come into play? So okay. Do this. Might as well have. I wasn't paying attention. Did they play the? They did. But about turn 5, that certainly happens. But oh, we've got Olivia and Sylvia, so that should be fine. We just need to. Okay, so Olivia and Sylvia deals 2 damage to the board. Oh, and we've got this is easy. Really. Got a king and the check. Excellent. You just present a generally threatening board of. Could possibly gotten some more damage in with the Magical Knight, but now they do their Royal Fortress nonsense. But we do have a 6/6 ward in play. Does make their stuff generally a bit more awkward, out of range of a lot of their removal. They do. That was a spell they have in their deck. I guess if they're running very heavy. We got. You can't kill me. you can hurt me. But you have to trade there. I would very much like the ability to kill them here, but alas, just a bit short. None of the, yeah. Was it 8 play points? So that's the question. Yeah, I'm actually gonna wait, hold on to it, and use the magical rooks to heal up and put wards into play. Because then next turn we can kill with Mystic Kings. Like, guaranteed. Like, they'll get another, No, I'm just going to play this Magical Knight. I know I don't get the pawns, but I want to make sure it gets a bit more damage in just to make sure. So they get another Royal Fortress Invoke. But there's not a lot they can do that can kill me from 20 here. Pretty sure. That makes it less likely. Alright, what do you get? Yeah, they're not gonna kill me from 20 here. Like, they can hurt, they'll drop me down pretty damn low. But that's their second Steeled Luminous Knight. And they're not gonna, no way they have 4 damage at 1 play point. Victory is mine. We do this. This is not quite enough. Oh, it is enough. It's 16. I'm done. Victory is mine. Chess. Do like some jazz. I don't know if I'm going to continue much longer because I am a bit tired and I've got a bunch of work to do. So I think what I actually, because I know I'm going to need to do what I need to do for this for the battle pass mission. I do need to get my like 1 game of Take-Two matches. So I think I'll do that. I think I'll like round out the stream with that, and then that'll probably be a good stream because then that'll probably take me past 10 PM. Let's just do. Well, I've already done the Grand Prix, so I don't need to worry about that. Do our Take-Two, our monthly Take-Two match, before I forget. I'll do that on stream, and now I can look really. So, ooh, what's good in the current meta? I think Dragoncraft's probably got the best, like, singular cards. Forestcraft, like, it's either Dragoncraft or Bloodcraft. I think Dragoncraft's probably the safest pick. Forestcraft, again, is a lot of weird combo cards in this current sets, especially in Asphalt. which you get a bit more, which is a bit more heavily weighted in like, I don't think it's more heavily weighted, but it's like it's more recent sets, so it's only like Take Two is only the past 4 or 5 sets. I forgotten a bit it rather than the past 6. So, but a lot of Forest is very either control-y or combo. It's not got a lot of like just straight up value cards. You kind of need other cards, specific things to happen to make it work, like other condemned cards or playing several cards a turn. It's probably a bit easier to get those several cards a turn procced just with the common condemned cards. I think it's better just to go Dragoncraft to and there's already pretty good options. I think in Take Two, just because really this is a really good startup. Dragon Skull and Ethica are both really good, but I think Olivia and Sylvia pitch it out a bit just because board clear is so valuable, as is March of the Dragon Spring. So I think I'm gonna take that. Let's see. Okay, so probably keep Strike of the Dragon Slayer, and Dancing Crab like can't be attacked in Take Two is strong. Makes them very thing, and especially having a nice high value enhance like Lethal Dragoon's Scyther is also really good. Blazing Breath is decent, but I think that's the best like long-term value. So this is where we probably don't things like Tropical Mermaid is a very weird card that's still be floating around in the meta and could be very nice, just like beefing up your deck. Swiftblade Dragon's Arm, so we kind of want to avoid that kind of like synergy card. So I think I'd rather take Aquatic Authority, Kojuro, just because they're a lot more general use. Dragon Crawl, Board Carrot, or Attack or Defense. Some of them, some of them. Dragon Rider is a bit rubbish. I think the Dance getting another. I'd rather have another Dancing Crab, and the Razor Clawed Thief, even if you're not running, makes any condemned cards you do pick up a bit more consistent. But also, it's just a handy card, even if you're not running them, because. Ooh, Rhino. I think Angel's Blessing is really good, but I think Angelic Starsetter in Take Two is. And so is Rhino Man. I'd really like to see some Reinvigorated Dragoon is alright. 3/3 Storm for 2 and Overflow. Recording Harm is probably really bad. Much rather bet Swiftblade Dragon Newt is at least a 3/1 rush. And probably this just because Draconic Armor has a very high chance of being a dead card in hand. Loyal Sea Serpent is pretty good. Razor Clawed Thief is pretty good. Dragon Breeder is a bit more situational, as is Dragon Newt Martial Artist. So, ooh. So since we've got those, since we have 2 Razor Clawed Thieves, we can actually be quite confident in taking these kind of condemned cards. And Argente has a chance to just completely bite us in the arse, because even though she's a ramp, it still discards 2 cards from your hand, and if you're not running a discard deck, she doesn't return, you don't get cards back. And also, like, discard is really a hard archetype to build. Like, not even so it's hard in Take Two, but also you have so many less you have 10 less cards in your deck. So I think Antimaria and Scorched Earth Tyrant are good pickups here. Especially since we keep finding Razor Clawed Thieves. But I don't think we want to go too hard on them. So I think I'd rather have Dark Mermaid, which is just a nice Take Two card. And Dragon Drawn Carriage is alright, and if we happen to have a Draconic Weapon in hand, then it's even better. I think that's better than Warden of Parents, probably not. Probably. You don't really want to bother with. I'd say probably Angelic Punisher, because it's just a lot of value. You get the Pure Shot Angel with its reduced cost. You get the Angelic Smite with its reduced cost. I think, and Warden of the Currents probably, like, you probably get a couple of cost reductions that makes them worth. We haven't seen any ramp apart from the one discard thing. So I don't really. I specifically discarded Dragoncraft follower from your hand. You don't have any Dragoncraft followers. Just draw a card and deal 4 damage to random enemies. I think that might be the better option. I'm going to take it. Okay, so this is where we can get some ramp in. So it's not going to be particularly consistent. It might be consistent, but it's still a 3-2 and Katakura is still odd. In this case, I think Loyal Sea Serpent and Lethal Dragoon Scythe are probably like better late game value than either of these. We are getting a bit of the Condemned synergy, so maybe having... Here I'm going to take the one more Razor Clawed Thief. Okay, that's a good idea because now we get stuff. Another Hothead Marauder, so we can have more consistent ramp. Leviathan Dragon is a really bad idea. Ethica is a really good idea. Leviathan would be quite nice to have. But yeah, we don't have enough armed for Leviathan Dragon, so it's a non-stop, really. So it's better to get Frostbite Dragon as a board clear, just a big nasty board clear finisher. Ethica as both a board clear and Evo point recovery. So yeah, I didn't actually bother to check the deck list, but hopefully this will get us good wins. But thankfully the mission only requires that we play out the games. Never entirely sure, because it says without quitting, and I know there's like a point where you have to play so that you don't just like play and then instantly forfeit. I don't think that counts. Okay, so I don't really want... I'll keep Dark Mermaid just to keep a follower in hand. Okay, that's a pretty good start. We get to have a bit of an early board presence. Instead, we can use... Basically, if we kind of like try and save the second half of Razor Clawed Thief to ensure we get condemned procs. It is a bit awkward trying to do condemn things because you have to kind of like wait until you know that you have it in hand, so you can't really do them on curve. But we've got enough Razor Clawed Thief to kind of like make it consistent. That's why like the Dragoncraft condemn stuff is probably again pretty good for take 2 because as I said Razor Clawed Thief's a bronze, you can get quite a few of them quite easily. And it's just a very good, consistent way to ensure you trigger. You have the triggers available. Does affect work for Warden of Recurrence as well. Counts as 2 cards. I don't remember what things he actually pulls from the deck. So yeah, we've got a pretty we have what the people call an curve. Okay, so now we've got an Antimaria in hand, we can like save Razor Claw. So given what we have, I am going to be very aggressive. Probably put Fontevine. Might have put Angelic Melody. Yeah, well, at least we burned off that Hamlin. Pretty good. Okay, so kind of hoping they don't have access to any banish. Guess I'm just gonna talk. Maybe I should have saved it. So, oh, we got an Aquatic Author. pretty good for our next removal options. Get another non ah shit, they had a bounce. I don't think we had any ways. Okay, they're just using that as removal at least. So we're going in with a board state. We can just play Aquatic Authority and make. Might be worth saving it. Oh no, we can just play Angelic Punisher. I think it's worth evolving it for the Angelic Smite in hand. If they've got talents, they can blow this up, which is yeah. Who are these angels of the frickin' boon? That's actually kind of annoying. None of our discard options are really worth it. Pure shot. Yeah, I think we just fucking I don't know, because we want to play a Razor. I want to play Anta Maria. Yeah, I want to save her for a finisher. I want to save it until we look like we can actually. So I think I'm gonna Pure Shot Angel. Deal some damage. Evolve just to be a big annoying threat. Then Angelic Star Sitter with the last play point. Get a Gospel. Because next turn we also enter into Overflow, so all of our cards start doing more shit. Okay. Dragon Breed is pretty good. So I'm trying to think what I want to. So, Aquatic Authority. You think I want to set up to try and kill them next turn with Anta Maria. So if we Aquatic Authority, then Delix might that, so I can get this damage in the way. Then play the Razor Clawed Thief. It's like, we don't quite have Ruth, but if they can't clear the board, should be able to. We've got 9 damage in. Anta Maria doesn't. We don't have an Evo point. If this doesn't work, we can use Rewarding with Recursion of Recurrence to be, if they can survive this turn. Okay, that's not healing, we win. Just play Anta Maria. Buffalo. Bonk. Hehe. Move? As she says, as I've said about Anta Maria, move, I'm gay. You don't care about your ward. Wants to find her wife. Okay, let's see what's okay. Going on Swordcraft. Might be a bit. Swordcraft's always had a decent advantage in Take Two just because they have very board-centric cards that are valuable. Okay, so we don't want to have Anti-Marine or opening. Either do we want Frost. Razor Claw Thief. Hot-Headed Marauder is very good. Okay. That's good because that gives us a something to bump the Razor Clawed Thief into, so play it here. Gonna get control board, and we can play it next turn so that we get our ramp from Hot-Headed Marauder. Actually, when they play a 1-1, the Razor Claw Thief also trades in. Interesting. We didn't need to getting a ramp in Take Two is always very awful. Got Bane! And unfortunately we do have to trade in the Hot-Headed Marauder. I'm not like letting them the Bane friend up. Ow. Heck. Okay, what do we do here? Let's Twin Drake guy draws us a card. And going to evolve to clear that guy because he's a problem. Hello, Evelyn. It's going pretty well. We're playing Take Two. Oh, I'm playing against randoms and not playing it this because I'm just gonna play Take Two and then call it night because I'm feeling tired. Man, they're getting heroic cards. Yeah, this is kind of annoying. I would really like to have some kind of... Like, a lot of these cards don't really activate. No. Till next turn. So I kind of want to hold on to these Dancing Crab. I guess I'll play one Dancing Crab and hope they don't have a remove spell because... Oh, but I really can't like leave stuff on that board. I'd also rather save Katakura for later as well. Not the best of turns, but need to start pushing some damage. Against Swordcraft, can't be attacked as quite. So we'll hopefully be able to start turning things a bit in our favor next turn because we can start doing like Enhanced Rhino Man, Enhanced Dancing Crab, Frostbite Dragon. Okay, that's one of their removal options. But at least they didn't also do a damage face. Okay, good to see you, Evan. We don't have condemned cards in hand. It's been going pretty well. We've been enjoying. I started the stream playing an interesting like combo forest deck that usually not my thing, but I found it was like, oh, this is actually quite fun. Just like based on the forest convict lady. I got you. Yeah, it's cool. It's like no one seems to be expecting it. They keep having removal for all my shit, but they don't really have have like that many ways. The Rhino Man. I'm kind of hoping I can just like beat them down with things they can't attack. Does Frostbite Dragon hit my own stuff? It does indeed. I don't really want to play it when I have a board, especially a board I want to preserve. Even though it would probably be the better play. They almost tempting to get the glittering gold out of their hand. I'm not really sure what they're doing that Evo for. I guess so, like, it doesn't just die to the Rhino Man? Mm-hmm. Of course, now it's time for Crab. Right. Did they get a sufficient enough board clear to stop this, or some method to just kill me? Legendary Sword Commander doesn't. Warden of Honor is a bit of a pain. But I think we still win. Category Kojiro. You have my get. Don't get Bane. You do get enough attack to. So. We just need to bonk one of the. This. Do that. Do this. Crab! 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 Crab rave successful! You drafting several dancing crabs was the best plan. It's really good against decks against classes that don't have access to a lot of removal effects and rely heavily on things. I really wish I had sound alerts prepped. That would have been a great time for it. Oh well. Maybe this week, as I'm working on a lot of things. Trying to get a lot of things working now. Swordcraft again. Let's see. Don't want to. Well, there's a dancing crab I want to put in play later. Let's keep Great Guide and Ethica, because Ethica can be. You've got Olivia and Sylvia, so we don't need to worry too much about using the Playpoint Returnal. Whilst Ethica is also just a really good board click. I'll do Dancing Crab anyway. So let's just see what they play here. Front Desk Frog. That's not particular. So I think here I am just gonna play Crab. Let's get some pressure on. What I can do next turn. Well, we'll see what they do. If they oh damn, they had the removal spell. In that case, never an ally Dragonfire, they only cost 1+1. So I'm just gonna make a wide-ish board using this. Razor Clawed Thief. Play them dragon. I'm going to use the rush to bump it just to make sure they want to actually use it to trade rather than face with it. It's within range for so we kind of want to save Ethica for later. So okay. Okay, so that's another Razor Claw. Or Razor Claw Thief. I keep saying Razory Claw, like you can be very aggressive with play point. I want to save the Razor Claw Thieves until I know that we can hit till we can make sure we're activating some of our condemned cards, because neither of these have last words anymore. That is an annoying card for them to acquire. It'll probably be a simple time. I'm probably just going to Angel of the Gospel, play on curve, trade, draw a card. There's like we've got Livy and Sylvia and Ethica, so our ability to regain Evo points is quite high. Yeah, but yeah, getting the buffs. Fine. Okay, that's not a problem. Drawing all our Razor Claws, but not any. Oh shit! So let's Sylvia. Do we have any? I'm gonna play one of these Razor Claw Thieves to get a card out of my hand, and in case we happen to top deck a condemned follower next turn. The fact that that shit's all buff now. Annoying. It wasn't a commander that discarded the lead. Okay, we're not looking as good as we did last time. That's because we haven't drawn any of our crabs. Well, we drew a crab. We need our crab. And the Angel's Blessing. Let's reduce their... god damn it, this one got all the fucking heart removal. When did I have a damage on either? Fine, we don't need. Okay. So is that I kind of just need to get more guns. I'm just gonna do this as kind of like pushing a bit more damage. Because there's Rhino Man. Pretty handy for us. As if they have Legendary Sword Commander, we're in. Fuck! Need my big mouth. Oh, Watch of the Dragon Spring. That's we can actually deal with this entirely. What are you? So we do just need to punch these we do have to use the Rhino Man to just hit him in the kill the Legendary Sword Commander. We don't have, but we got rid of we top deck the one card we needed to stop the one card. So that was pretty good. We've got plenty of options for dealing with all their fucking stuff in a can. So we can use Dragon Drive. It's only followers though. Okay, so... You're out of EVA points now. Hmm. Oh, for some reason I thought that was enhanced, but yeah. Ugh, where is all big cards? We have another legendary sword commander. Okay. That's not too bad. That's fine. I would have done it to save the wind slash. Okay, so got a Scorched Earth Tyrant. See if that can get us some damage later. But use one Razor Claw Thief. Oh, we take that. Discard the other one. Ugh. Ugh. That went all face! All of it went face! And they have fucking Radial! When did they hit Rally 20? What? They hit Rally 20 that much? They had both of that and fucking, absolute bullshit draft they had. God. They had Legendary Sword Commander, and Radial, and enough follower generation to hit Rally 20 in the course of a game. And we drew like shit because we didn't draw any of our high-end cards when we really needed them. And that Spellscourger went all face just for extra punishment. Okay, so I'm going to keep Ward of Recurrence in hand so that he has a chance to actually get cost reduced. Because Angelic starts it as Goblin, but you get an additional card. But you have to do so much. Okay. That's what you're gonna do there. I think Dragon Dive might not be a great card. I'm sure we're burning a lot of heavy removal on our early stuff. I don't really want play either of these. Like, I'll probably just Dragon, like, let them have that. That's annoying. Okay, Dragon Dive, what do you hit? Very low. Okay. You don't mind that sticking around? Maybe. This is... Ugh. Didn't even see that guy. Okay. Oh, Aquatic Authority is acceptable, I guess? It doesn't actually clear. If Angel of the Gospel hits no, that's too much of a risk. Oh, this sucks. All we can do, really. Mm. Mm. Gonna be honest with you, Chief. This ain't good. It's aggressive. I think that's our only option. Again, we hit Overflow next turn, so hopefully we can start clawing things back. I'm gonna use their board as much as possible and hope they don't. What do they have in their hand? They've got 3 cards in hand. The only thing we have going for us is just so many Call of the Voids. Who allowed them? Yeah, we can't really play that thing. This is really awkward, but it's our only real option. You become 3. Like to. We just kind of hope we survive. They don't pull some finisher on us, basically. It's likely they have. But we've got an option if they play something that's like really piss. That's just 2 damage. What? I don't like that. Oh yeah, that was the... we have no way to gain HP, so we have to hope we're not... I don't think there's any heal left in the deck, so... we just have to kind of hope that they don't have a way to kill us. I should have evolved to do more damage. Alright, what you got? Yes, Scythe Hound. Yep, that kills us. Why does he also go face? It's just a card that does everything. God damn. Come on, let's get our 3rd win. Come on, please. Yeah, I think Shadowcroft's probably pretty damn good in Take 2 as well. They've just got... they can... like, a lot of their cards are just really good board cards that also hit your opponent's face. And in Take 2, you might not have a lot of healing. Oh, against Swordcraft again. Let me see. Come on, show me. Razor Clawed. What's his face? Ever. Razor Clawed Invis. Yeah. I was like, that's draft formats in a nutshell, but Okay, well, we don't have to play the hard. Interesting. Guess they have that. You have to trade it otherwise. Yeah. Trade our 3-drop for it, 3-drop, 1 for 1. How it be? Ooh, that's not. Probably. Yeah, they didn't play the. This probably puts me in a bit of an awkward position, but I think I'm just going to. I'm just gonna play on curve right now, man. Fuck the auto evo. Again, I kind of want to use up evos a bit. And again, against Swordcraft, they do have removal options, but... Okay. That's what you chose to play. Yeah, because he has a removal on him. It's annoying. What's with all these fucking me playing against Swordcraft decks that get Strategic Commander on turn fucking 5 all the time? I call shenanigans. Anyway, what's up? Let's do... This is a very awkward play here. I actually don't have... that many options to deal with. At least we've got Ethica. Yeah, fucking... It doesn't really make that much of a difference. Annoying that they get the card that you want to have on turn 5 on turn 5. And it's a gold card in take 2. And I swear every time I play against fucking... Yeah, that's fine. We just, Olivia and Sylvia, that one. We've got Frostbite Dragon as well, and that's actually really good against, yeah. Play. Hot-headed Marauder as well. I want to say Frostbite Dragon for... That's painful. But manageable. Big 8 here. But trade a crab for that and still have 2 crabs. It's slightly awkward if they play Legendary Sword Commander because the Frostbite Dragon does kill our own crabs, but also just kills the Legendary Sword Commander. They have Shuriken Jutsu. 2 play point, destroy a follower. When did they get... Oh no, that was from, what's her face? I was about to say, they absolutely did not get fucking, Oh, that's... Oh! Oh! I don't think... I think I'm screwed. I think I'm actually fucked. I don't think there's a way I can win here. fucking return from the fucking brink. Yep, nope, that's not a heal. I needed a heal. Fuck my life. All my otherwise really good ideas completely shot down by complete bullshit. Like, I'll let them play it out. Like I say, it might be stupid. But yeah, now they just play the second Barbaros and punch me in the face. Yeah. But I've got to play it out because it's that's just rude. I don't play take two. Oh well, we got our battle pass mission done. And I'm tired. Aurora the Godworm pack ticket. Yeah, I think that's enough for today. I'll do a pack open. Let's just do a quick pack opening. Let's see what we get. I like to let's do it how they do it on the fucking every other fucking. I feel like I'm being really catty here, but trying not to be. I know people like the content. Let's see what the rave's all about for actually talking about what you get, looking at what you get, with those kind of people who can look at a pack and gacha with wide eyes with wonder and joy. Okay. Nothing I don't already have, but nice vials nonetheless. Yeah, just so I'm not ending the note on too much salt, and hopefully we'll get something. But so far, I don't know if I have 3 Warden of Bombs yet, but I probably do. So far, just vial. Nothing. But you get? Why didn't I get any of you? You're such a good card in Take 2. Iron Rock Defender, it's a really good card in Take 2. We didn't get offered sword. Not much here. Very that's the lowest possible rarity pack because you always get 1 animated, usually one of the bronzes, and 1 silver or plus. That's the lowest roll possible. Nothing much of interest here. As I said, Ages of the Commandments I wish was a worthwhile card because yes, please. Me likey. I'm bad at being horny. I sound really cringe. Like, I can't be like, oh. I sound too cringe when I'm horny. There she is again. I think initiate. Very cute. That's not the, is that the special art one? No, it's not. The special art one has, like, all the other, mates in it as well. And uninteresting pack. Hey, we got actual legendary, and a legendary I didn't have. Fortunately, he is completely unplayable. Herald. I don't think I had an Herald. I might have 1 or 2, but I definitely don't have a set of 3, so good enough. Yeah. Any of you if they print another better like heal payoff than Bellerophon, then he'll probably come into play. But I just don't think his current state is useful or any of the condemned Havencraft rollers really. Glad there's some solidarity there, Caden. Ooh, animated Barbaros. Despite playing Loot Side, all my Barbarosses are temporary copies, so actually getting copies of Barbaros is very good, but animated Barbaros, very nice. Very pretty. Look at that fucking bird. Good, okay, last pack. Come on, something good. Nothing particularly interesting. What we got, yeah, it was a pretty good haul. 2 legendaries, an animated legendary is always nice. And yeah, that was off my first actual copy of Barbaros, despite playing Loot Sword since the start, because all my copies are temporary copies. I'm sure Herald will be a yeah, they're the same. Talking through text, it's fine, but when you're actually having to enunciate with your voice, you just sound like a weird. You could just sound like a weirdo creep. I need to make my voice. I need to get on with those voice lessons so I can sound cuter. Then I can be horny and degenerate, and people will think I'm funny rather than weird. But yeah, that was a Shadowverse Sunday. Sad, so go back to the chat room as I look for who to raid. Just kind of wind down. Just thank you everyone for coming along. Can't do it without because actually I'm gonna put this yeah. Let us put up my new schedule. So I showed off the kind of like I was faffing about with the just put me above there. I think. Yeah, this is a schedule used by made by Proneko that you have to pay money for, but it's a full like made to like editable schedule that you don't have to bother knowing faffing about with making sure everything's aligned in Photoshop or whatever. It was a real pain in the ass when I was making my old schedules, and it also does auto time conversions and all that jazz. So it's really quite handy. But yeah, so I've got bunch of streams planned for the week. I've got I'm gonna be playing more Sekiro, more Rabby Ribby. I'm gonna play Doom Eternal finally because I was tired of constantly being like, I've heard Doom Eternal's not great, but I've never actually played it. So every time I kind of like sass about it, people are like, oh, have you actually played it? I'm like, oh, I haven't actually. So I'm gonna play Doom Eternal and I'll probably have fun. Play it in the Humble Choice bundled selections, but might as well. On a side note, video games are too fucking huge. People keep making video games too much. I had to free up so much space to fit Doom Eternal on my hard drive, and my hard drive's not tiny. At least it wasn't tiny a few years ago. But yeah, so just a lot of variety. Got some Sekiro, I got some Rabbit River, got Doom Eternal, and I got some Dead Cells because I want to play that with actually making the Twitch integration work. So fun. And of course, Shadowverse on Sunday. Games do be chunky. I hope Doom Eternal's like at least optimized well enough to run with streaming, because it's one of those annoying thing where it's like hard to tell what the how a thing's going to actually perform until you're actually streaming, and I guess I could do test streams. Like, worst comes to worst, I'll stream something else. I could try streaming Doom 3 again. That'll be my punishment for planning this without testing it first. But oh well. But yes. Lovely, lovely new schedule. Right, let's see. Whilst hide that. Back to the room. The host is. Lots and lots of friends online. Ooh. I think Ray. And let's raid my friend Sylvie Klosko. Just had her new model debut. Playing Titanfall 2. It's another game that's I kind of want to get back to. I played like halfway through the campaign and then just stopped for no real reason. But yeah. Let's get started on that. Just thank you all for coming along. And I'll see you on Tuesday. Bye!